elites really that impressive? Sure, you probably can't become an elite without doing anything. But it's not only the elites who are working hard. Among them, I, who am not an elite, was always looked down upon. My name is Samantha. I've been married for 2 years. My husband, Robert, is a certified public accountant, providing a stable income. I continued to work after getting married, but I couldn't match Robert's income and was always looked down upon. I thought it was inevitable and gave up. Being a CPA comes with a stable income, and it's easy to start your own practice. And above all, it's a profession with a high degree of freedom. Moreover, there's no mandatory retirement age, and the sense of security that you will never run out of work is incredible. As a tax expert, he was in a league that I could never catch up to. As Robert's wife, I desperately served to prevent any shame. And then one day, suddenly my mother-in-law came to the house. I was surprised and flustered. The house wasn't tidy, and I hadn't started any cleaning or laundry yet. A leisurely weekend morning turned hectic. My mother-in-law, as usual, was dressed in elegant clothes and stylish shoes, looking nothing like someone in her 60s. As soon as she entered the house, she began firing off snide remarks. "Oh, Samantha, what's this? How long do you intend to sleep? A wife must wake up before her husband and finish everything. You can't let your guard down just because it's the weekend." I'm sorry. I'll do it right away. Then I thought Robert would defend me, but he started making snide remarks too. "She's a slacker on the weekends. It's just too much. A CPA's wife being a slacker. It's embarrassing." "That's a serious problem. A CPA is an elite. It's not like Samantha who works at a mediocre company. You need to understand him more. Poor Robert." "Right? Samantha doesn't get it at all. She thinks she's in the same position because she's working too." "Huh? That's out of the question. Know your place, dear." "I know that, but you don't have to say it like that." "What a troublesome situation. I worry about the future." "Well, never mind. I came here today for an inspection, so I'll be checking." "An inspection?" "I've decided to move in here, so I need to check beforehand." "Excuse me?" "The slow one, yeah. I'm moving in here. Dad is gone. It's inconvenient for me to live alone. That's why we need to check this place thoroughly and make sure it's suitable for me to live in." I was completely shocked. I hadn't heard my mother-in-law was moving in here. I thought it must be some kind of mistake, but it wasn't. She decided this all on her own, without even consulting me, which honestly irked me. She was moving in without any discussion between my husband and I, and this was apparently a house check. I was so annoyed I didn't even want to talk. Then my mother-in-law started to inspect the entire house, while casually mentioning it was a house check. Mother-in-law, that's our bedroom." "So what? Oh my goodness, what is this? Is this left as it was when you woke up? With no cleaning up?" Entering a couple's bedroom is so inappropriate. Ugh, this is so annoying. But I guess I should apologize. "I'm sorry." My mother-in-law didn't care and just walked around the house checking everything. I had no idea why she was checking the house. And when she finished her check, she started complaining to me. "This house won't do. It's not accessible. There's no handrails on the stairs. Moreover, there's no room for me. I'm not a dog. I can't stay in a cramped room like a doghouse. Let's see. I'll use your bedroom." "Excuse me? That's... Also, I can't relax without a traditional living room. So please convert the living room to a traditional one." I can't do that. Do you have any idea how much the renovation will cost? Of course, Samantha should cover that. Robert has contributed to the living expenses and even purchased this house. That's right. We haven't depended on Samantha's income because there's a huge difference. But it's all good if you can contribute. Don't just say whatever you want. What? You can't even do that for a living with my mother? It's not about that. Deciding everything on your own without any consultation isn't good, is it? What are you talking about? Consulting with a person who's always at the bottom? Don't make me laugh. Living with my mother is a done deal. Got it? My elite husband unilaterally decided to live with his mother. Mom, over you. All right. He threatened me with divorce papers, so I really did divorce him. No matter where you go, you're worthless, Samantha. You've got nowhere else to turn, so you've got no choice but to stick around here, right? Or do you want to get a divorce? Look, I've already filled out the divorce papers. Here, do as you wish with them. Silently, I took the divorce papers from Robert. The next day before going to work, I submitted them to the town hall. I had reached the end of my patience with his constant belittling. I understand that I may not be the most capable, but I'm working hard. Isn't that a given? Even on the weekends when I was busy, Robert would demand, "We're out of juice. Go buy some." Or, "I want sushi for lunch." He would say whatever he pleased. Every time I would go shopping, iron his shirts, polish his shoes, make and freeze a week's worth of meals, I was on the move all day and had no time to rest. I was doing everything I could for my husband. Because of this, I could not tolerate the behavior of my husband and my mother-in-law. And then there was the night I submitted the divorce papers. Robert started to ridicule me again. "What's this? You expect me to eat this?" "I'm sorry, I didn't have time today, so I just bought some pre-made food." "You're a failure as a wife. This is unacceptable, considering how much I earn. Right? You've always been good at the bottom of the barrel. I went to a state university with a high GPA, while you went to a mid-tier university with a low GPA. Plus, I'm a CPA, and you're a mere employee at an unknown company. You understand that we're worlds apart, right? You should be more aware of yourself." As always, you're so harsh. Well, never mind. It's not that I'm harsh. It's that your level is just that low. It's dangerous not to be aware of it. Enough. It's not good for me, even if it's good for you. Go buy something that matches my level. High-end sushi or premium steak. Anything can be taken out. I'm hungry, so go buy it now. That's a wife's duty, right? Well, that was true, up until now. What's that supposed to mean? Your tone. That was true. Up until now. What's that? I don't have to serve you anymore. Please don't treat me like a slave. Just be grateful that I've prepared anything at all. What? What do you mean? I'm not your wife anymore. I submitted the divorce papers this morning, so I'm not your wife anymore. What? What are you saying? The divorce papers, the ones I handed over yesterday? That's right. You told me to do as I wished with them, remember? They were already filled out and stamped. I figured that must have been your sentiment. Wait. I only handed them over as a threat. What? Despite signing and stamping the divorce papers, you're saying it was just a threat? That's unbelievable. Surely not. They were accepted without any issues, though. Whoa. Please reconsider. Divorce? No. This is bad. I'm an elite, you know. Divorce, that's seriously bad news. I'm sorry, but I can't keep up with your public image. Although I might not be as skilled, I have never forgotten to be kind and considerate. I've never belittled or looked down on anyone. I've had enough. It was convenient while it lasted. I'll pack my belongings and leave this weekend. Of course, if you want me to leave immediately, that's fine too. This is bad. Bad. What should I do? I have to contact my mom. I never thought that my husband could be such a person. Suddenly, I felt completely detached. After filing for divorce, there was a moment of hesitation, wondering if I'd done the right thing. But now, all that is blown away. I plan to pack my things this weekend and return to my parents' home. Even though it's not much of my personal belongings, it doesn't really matter. When I thought about how easily a marriage could end, I started wondering about what family really meant. Was it because we didn't have children or couldn't form familial bonds? I don't think so. The problem was in our relationship. We couldn't form a bond between the two of us. There's no point in regretting, so I've decided to stop pondering over it. Now that I'm single again, I just need to focus on my work. I was getting motivated for work, thinking the next week I'll be a different person. But then, during the weekend, I borrowed a car from my father to move my packed belongings, while my ex-husband didn't even bother to help, just pacing around relentlessly. I didn't understand what he was so nervous about, but an hour later, it all made sense. He felt embarrassed about divorcing me and called my ex-mother-in-law in an attempt to reconcile. As soon as my ex-mother-in-law arrived, he hurried over to her and started explaining. Then my ex-mother-in-law approached me and said, "Samantha, you're really doing whatever you please, aren't you? I don't approve of you divorcing." Do I need a parent's approval to divorce? I was handed the divorce papers right in front of you, remember? You can't claim you didn't know. You really don't understand anything, do you? A simple piece of paper is clearly a threat. Why would you take it seriously? Robert is an elite. Aren't you aware of being an elite's wife? I didn't marry Robert because he was an elite. What's this awareness you're talking about? It doesn't matter if he's an elite or not. Please understand what I'm saying. Becoming an elite's wife is a privilege few people have. You achieved that. It's not right to throw it away so easily. We'll pretend as if what you did never happened. So please stop this nonsense about leaving. I wonder who's the one not understanding. Holding on to an elite without being able to do anything. That's you, right? My ideal is a warm family. I don't think being an elite makes everything okay. Earning money is good enough. The important thing is the heart. A heart that you and your son seem to lack. Be quiet. You have no right to say such things. How dare you talk back to me? You're just a daughter-in-law. I'm not a daughter-in-law anymore, no matter what you say. I've become single again, so I'll do as I please. Wait. That's not correct. Suddenly my mother-in-law seemed to lose all her momentum. Well, I couldn't care less anymore. And so I started packing again and quickly left that house. The confused faces of those who didn't bother me. I just said thanks for putting up with me. I'm sorry for being such a low-class wife. Please find a high-education, high-income woman for remarriage. Wish you the best. With that, I hurriedly left the house. Returning to my parents' home, I felt a strange sense of relief and comfort. My parents understood, and when they said welcome back, I found myself tearing up. I thought about how foolish it felt to have desperately held on and gritted my teeth for so long. to have been so desperate for such an arrogant husband. Seeing my parents reminded me of the warmth of a family and the compassion of being human. I felt an explosion of all the stress I had accumulated until now, and fell asleep without even eating dinner, sleeping straight through until morning. When I woke up the next morning, I felt incredibly refreshed. For the first time in a while, I decided to cook breakfast for my parents. The home-cooked meal felt nostalgic. Mixed feelings of realizing that I had returned home and regret over the time wasted. However, I had never imagined I would have to restart my life in my 20s. But my parents told me it might be a lucky chance, which I agreed to. I decided to aim for getting a professional certification and strive for promotion. Then something happened after a month. It was a weekend, and I was making hand-cut pasta with my parents. My dad was skilled at making pasta, so I was assisting him and my mom when the doorbell rang. Neither of them could leave their work, so I answered it. Opening the door, standing there, was Robert. "Robert, what are you doing here?" My ex-husband was standing there in the pouring rain, completely soaked without even an umbrella. Surprised, I impulsively invited him in. "Come in, you'll catch a cold." Just then my father appeared. Even though he was in the middle of making pasta, my father appeared with force. "Dad!"
"What are you doing here? This is not your place. Please leave."
"Dad, Robert's completely soaked. He'll catch a cold."
"I could care less about what happens to this man. He's the worst. He made you suffer."
"But still."
"Get out of here right now."
Just then my ex-husband fell on his knees begging. I was taken aback by this sight. I saw Robert like I had never seen him before, the man who was once so proud and looked down on me. And then he started to talk.
"Father-in-law, I'm sorry for causing so much trouble. Let me cut to the chase. Please let me remarry Samantha. I regret how I have acted as a man, but I realize that I can't live without her. Please, I beg you." "What on earth are you talking about now? It's too late. Go back." "I can't survive on my own. I can't clean, do laundry, cook. I need Samantha. From now on, I believe we can live in harmony. My mother also wants to live in peace. She's getting old. If she can't move, it's over. Samantha, please help me. Please, can't you come back?" "So, that's what it is. Typical you. Enough is enough. This isn't a joke. Samantha is not a housekeeper. Go home. Never show your face again." "Father-in-law." "I am not your father-in-law anymore. Stop calling me that." "Please, father-in-law, Samantha, help me. Hey, wait a minute. Don't throw me out. Samantha."
For a moment, I was almost fooled again, but my father intervened. "He is just struggling because he can't clean, do laundry, cook. He can't do anything without me. My former mother-in-law just wants to loaf around. Apparently, he couldn't get along with his domineering mother and his spoiled self, so he came to me for help. They seemed to be constantly fighting, and it was nothing but stress. In the midst of all this, he thought of me, convenient me, as if I'd fall for that. Just when I was finally free, there's no way I'm going back. And so my ex-husband was commanded by his mother to take care of all the household chores. Between work, cleaning, laundry, and housework, he's going to have a tough time. He seems to have finally understood what I've been doing all this time, but it's too late. Let them struggle as a family. That's what they did to me. And also, my ex-husband apparently couldn't bear it any longer. He abandoned his job and his life and ran away. I realized then what a pathetic man he was. I found an apartment near my office and moved out. And then I took on the challenge of obtaining a professional certification and passed with flying colors. My salary went up, and I started to see a different side of myself. Overjoyed, I was on cloud 9. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to come. I won't be defeated. I'll keep moving forward. No way I'm going down without a fight.